What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Poor Judgment. Man, we back
We
again.
back.
We back. I know you're all scared. You all thought, oh no, they're leaving. They finally did it. But we just had a little stuff come up this week. Don't worry about it. Don't ask no questions.
We're busy people,
Yeah.
important people.
Well, one of us is. The other one's
Uh,
just me.
well,
You said, what?
excuse me.
Well, as always, we welcome you here. We welcome you to the channel. We wanted the real reason it took a long time is because we wanted to cook up something special. You know, I know you look well. Actually, they don't see the video of us, but I was gonna say they look at us and see manly men, and they probably are like, oh, these guys don't. They're not nerds. They're not that big of a nerds, but we're huge nerds. We love
They
us some
would be
Star
wrong.
those people are wrong. No, we wanted to cook up something special. We wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to all of us, to all our hearts. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Star Wars.
It's only one of the greatest franchises in the history of history.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it's so iconic. Like when you think about Star Wars, I feel like I only know like one person in my entire like atmosphere that doesn't even like Star Wars, and that person I barely talk to. So,
Uh, the only reason I can't say the only reason, but uh, there is a reason that I have not left my wife. And one of them is because she has no opinion on Star Wars because she's never seen it.
oh,
Um, which is okay. I'd rather have one who's not seen it than one who doesn't like it.
the problem is your wife's gonna be.
Oh, that's why I won't even show her. I can't. She can't sit through the whole thing, and I'm not one where I can sit down and watch like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. Like if I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch the whole movie, whatever movie it is, even the shitty ones. I'm gonna watch it from start to end.
That's true. Like even I mean, we won't go too depth into it yet, but even the less valuable ones, I can't even put a word to describe how bad those other ones are, like at all, like just straight shit. Um. So, anyways, we're gonna talk about Star Wars, and we're gonna do it here on a Thirsty Thursday. We recorded this literally the day before, so so we're just gonna go in raw, unfiltered, like the last girl you talked to.
Shit.
With that being said, Marcus, what you pouring up? I see you got a specialty cup. Why don't you tell us about that?
So I'll go ahead and explain the cup here for the listeners. If you can think of a all black chalice that's like I don't know, 8 inches tall, and then have red etching of Darth Vader heads and Star Wars inscriptions on the top and just like designs. It's just a very cool chalice I got when Star Wars Land just opened up in Disney when we went. And inside of that, I have a little wild turkey single barrel, just a little straight up whiskey, nice and neat, no ice or anything. And if I do decide to run out and change, I have a nice Coors Banquet here to quench the thirst because I'm trying to get rid of that 12 pack that I bought for our last episode.
Shout out to the last episode. Well, I guess it was the episode before with 4th of July,
I
but
guess
yeah,
it's three. It's been what, three go, or the
two.
one right before 4th of July, two.
Yeah, this man still has the Coors Banquet. I love it.
I do. I've been gone on vacation all week, so nothing in my house has been touched. We were up in the mountains, and all of the mountain whiskey and mountain beer was drank. So I come back to some nice cooler banquets.
You don't know it, but stuff in your house has been touched.
You know what? Honestly, I had a feeling. You have a very distinct smell, and it was left on my pillow.
Just dang. Yeah, it's a beautiful cup, bro. Like I see, and so what I was gonna tell you is when I saw you pull up with the cup, I was like, oh man, I should have done it. I thought about grabbing uh the water bottle. Do you remember there's a specific water bottle that a
Yeah,
friend of ours got?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the Anakin Skywalker water bottle. Him and his wife went to Disneyland, shot out Billy, and he came back with it. And I was like, you should have seen me. I was like a kid on Christmas, bro. I
Yeah,
was sweating
it's the hilt of his lightsaber
of
into a
Anakin.
water, and you can turn the light on and it lights up, and it
Hmm.
is amazing.
I should have brought that. I should have put it right next to the microphone and. All right. So on this episode today of Star Wars, we're going to be doing a little battling of the I said the originals, the prequels, and the sequels. So the rules for it, obviously, you know what the prequels are. It's 1 through 3. Then you have 4 through 6 are the originals, and then the god awful 7 through 9 sequels.
Yeah,
They,
we don't talk about those.
yeah, we don't talk about Bruno like that. So basically, I'm gonna give you a category, and what I would like for you to do is tell me which one of those three has the best in that category. You can explain a little bit. We can go back and forth a little bit.
Okay, so the category is going to basically encompass 3 movies, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yes, and we're
Okay.
doing it based off of the trilogy as a whole,
Okay.
not just individual movies.
Okay.
So I know episode 1 is gonna be rough, but episode 1 gets bundled in with 2 and 3. So you gotta decide.
Yeah, episode 1 is episode 1.
Only good thing was Qui-Gon Jinn
Right?
and Darth Maul, I guess. But all right, let's start with which one of them between the prequel, the sequel, and the original has the best characters.
The prequel, the sequel. I'm automatically taking off the last 3 movies.
You gonna
So
just take off the sequels right away?
7, 8, 9 are gone.
Just out of here. Go on.
Out of here. Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, they're all trash. You can't have Emperor Palpatine come back as some fucking ghost robot AI bullshit with clones that are like, there's no explanation to it. It was a money grab. It was absolutely terrible. The only person that is worth anything in those movies, and I wouldn't mind seeing like a spinoff of his pre like deployments before these movies is Poe.
Mm.
Everyone else is absolute garbage. Kylo Ren could have had a very good arc, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden to have your protagonist and your antagonist kiss each other is crazy.
That's nasty work.
It's just terrible. And then here's what I'm going to say. Majority of your characters in your sequels are in your prequels. There are a couple that are gone though.
Actually,
Like
they're in the originals.
the originals.
I was gonna say, don't disrespect
sorry.
it.
You have majority of in your sequels are in your originals.
Mm-hmm.
And Qui-Gon is by far and away my favorite Jedi.
Bro, that's my favorite Jedi.
He
You're just capping. You're just trying to get.
I
Get in my sheets. That's
I
don't,
can't.
don't do this.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't take much.
Yeah, I'm easy.
Obi-Wan's up there. I think the only reason why Obi-Wan kind of fell is because I'm a person who doesn't like what everyone else likes, and since recently everyone loves Obi-Wan, I've kind of moved past that. Mace Windu's my all-time favorite.
Oh.
But he doesn't have very much of an arc. He's barely in there. But I like the story behind him. So, long story short, I'm going to say the originals because you have basically everyone who's in the sequels or the prequels are in the originals. Even though the original movies are kind of
Kinda.
Kind of
Oh my god, this is it. This is where we're gonna fight.
Let me make sure that I'm understanding. You're using prequels, originals, sequels.
Yeah.
Okay, so originals. Okay, I change it. Originals are fantastic. Prequels are and sequels are just, I don't even want to talk about them. So the greatest characters are in the originals,
Okay.
which are also mostly in the prequels, except for maybe Qui-Gon, who is a great Jedi, but you don't get to see much from him.
Mm-hmm.
So originals,
Okay.
which is
I,
four, five, six.
yeah,
Four,
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 five,
five,
six.
six. New Hope,
So,
Empire Strikes Back, Return of the
yep.
Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Which, by the way, I'm gonna have to owe $1. I forgot to tell people what I was drinking because I got a little berry limeade buzzball with a little Sprite up in here.
That's gross.
Bro, it's actually kind of fire. And I wanted it because I wanted it blue. I was gonna do blue or green, and I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with blue. Let's do blue, even though green's my favorite. But okay. So for characters, I'm also gonna go original only because I think I like Luke Skywalker. My favorite Jedi, of course, like I said before, or we discussed before, was that Qui-Gon's my favorite. But I gotta give credit that I love me some Luke Skywalker,
Yep.
especially number 6, Luke Skywalker. Number
Yes.
4, he's a wussy. But number 6, he got that dog in him. He's straight mastering. Now, shout out to my boy Anakin, forever goated, and Mace Windu did not deserve the death he deserved that he got. And Yoda, Prime Yoda though, an original,
Oh,
bro. I mean, not original. In prequel, bro.
yeah.
It's differently. That boy had leaps.
Dude, the scene between him and who was it? Not Count Dooku.
Palpatine,
Was it Palpatine when they were in the?
the chamber fighting.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
jumping off walls.
yeah, and the
Unreal.
boy's just unreal.
You're like, what the?
Who is this man?
Who is this spry chicken?
But I am gonna stick with the originals just because you also got Han Solo, you got Chewbacca,
Mm-hmm.
which I almost got a dirty Wookiee, but I was struggling to find it.
Bro, I can't find him around here.
Yeah, I was having a hard time over here. So, but originals, best characters are original. Now I will say the sequels, awful characters. Kylo Ren was almost something. I think what's his name, Adam Driver, terrific actor,
Yes.
even outside of Star Wars, but he just doesn't do it enough. He just doesn't carry.
No.
And they tried to push Finn on us. Finn is garbage.
No.
And I agree with you. Who's out here clapping Emperor Palpatine cheeks, bro? Who's letting Emperor Palpatine clap? Like, ain't no way. All right. So for characters, I think we both said original there.
Yeah.
All right.
But the only thing that almost swung me, and everyone hates him. Everybody.
I knew this was gonna come up. I was waiting. I was gonna start a timer on how long it was gonna take.
Everybody. I'm telling you this. Misa.
Misa, come back.
Misa, Jar Jar Binks, Master Sith Lord, is a banger of a character.
I just want to say that is all time your favorite character. I don't care what anyone says. That you can say Mace, but it's for sure Jar Jar Binks. You've been pushing Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks ever since I've known you.
You know what? Here's the funny part: is as I get older, and you start thinking more critically in your life for whatever reason, you start
maturity.
I guess you start realizing, like, everyone's like, oh, I can't say everyone. The argument is like, oh, he can force jump because he jumps so high. And then you start thinking like, oh, this motherfucker lives in water. And so if he jumps normal in water, obviously he's going to jump higher on land. Like,
oh, that's that rational thing.
That starts making, and it starts taking it away from it. So I will forever and always believe that Jar Jar Binks is a secret Sith Lord that will come out here in many, many of years. You know, George Lucas is going to be on his deathbed, and his last dying words were, Jar Jar was a Sith. And then he's just going to croak.
He's going to pass it along to a Make-A-Wish kid. That's going to
exactly. Yeah.
He's going to be like, sir, I just need to know one thing. And he leans over and is just like, Misa is a Sith Lord.
That's honestly, that if I was like a kid going through that and I had to make a wish,
that's what you would want.
That might be my make a wish. And if he's not, my make a wish is to make him one.
That's what I want. All right. So speaking of, which one of the three got the best story?
The best storyline.
Yeah. This one's a little tough.
So I'm gonna say this is where I'm going to, if it was done correctly, I think the sequels could have had a great storyline. Uh, Now we're talking storyline as in like where they started to where they ended. What
Yeah.
exactly do you mean?
So so for the prequels, it's from episode one story to the ending of episode three, like where
If
he becomes Darth Vader.
so, are we saying like potential, or are we saying just how the story goes?
Just what we got, which
Oh,
one has the best story?
then I'm going to say story wise, you're going to go prequels. I think your prequel storyline is good. It's just not well executed.
Mm.
Uh, I think that when you start thinking about the storyline of a uh, you start looking at a man who starts going to the dark side because it's for love at the end of the day,
Hmm.
uh has a kid, and then his own teacher has to, in his eyes, kill him, right? Doesn't end up dying, but kill him. Like that storyline is great. I think the execution was terrible,
Hmm.
but from start to finish the story is great in your prequels. Your originals obviously have a great story too. I mean, that's what started the whole franchise. So you have to have something that's strong, but your sequels are absolutely terrible. I don't know why we have to make up shit, but I think storyline wise, prequels are the best. It's a love story uh, that ends up being where a master has to kind of kill his own student. I just don't think they did very well with it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, so the sequels were obviously, I think the sequels actually had a lot of potential, especially since this was a new universe, this was a new thing, and then like you start off with like Kylo straight murdering, spoiler alert, Han in the
No,
beginning.
there ain't no spoiler alert. It's been
And
how many years?
don't see it if you did.
It's been
But
10 years now.
has it really?
2015 is when The Force Awakens came out.
Oh wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember when that first got announced, I was like, this is gonna be crazy.
I remember going and watching it.
Yeah, same. Um, so I think the potential was there. I think they just butchered it because, I mean, first of all, the change of director was unnecessary
Mm-hmm.
because the first one was J.J. Abrams, second one I was like Ryan Johnson, and then the third one went back to J.J. Abrams because I guess the second one didn't do so well. And I'm like, you guys should have just stuck with one, one of them, or just J.J. Abrams throughout all,
Yeah.
because it felt like he was trying to set up what happened in three, where it's like, oh, hey, I'm Emperor Palpatine's, granddaughter or whatever she was to him. And then it's like, oh, well, now Kylo Ren's gonna. Number three literally shot that franchise in the, or sorry, number nine, I guess technically shot that one in the foot.
Yes.
Like that franchise, that trilogy got shot in the foot all because of number three, which actually was slightly better than most of them, but not as good as the first one they did in that. But you know what I mean? Like it shot
Yeah.
itself in the foot with that one.
I remember watching uh whatever it is, number 7, so The Force Awakens, and thinking like the only real thing that I didn't like, I can't say the only, one of the biggest things that I didn't like is all of a sudden you have this power structure that gets broken up. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have this girl who is just figuring out she's force sensitive, and she's taking on whoever is supposed to be the next, basically Sith Lord, right? Like
Right.
Kylo's leader of the army of Ren or whatever it is,
Right.
but he's basically the next Sith Lord, and you have this podunk person who's, we don't know her background. Some people think, at the point I'm thinking, okay, maybe she is like I didn't watch it, but I know at some point Obi-Wan has an affair, or not an affair, but has a love with someone. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're trying to bring that in, and this is Obi-Wan's kid, whatever it
Right.
is. But all of a sudden, just like that, she's able to handle herself, and it made no sense, and that's what kind of threw me off. But it wasn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
I didn't leave there being upset. I left The Rise of Skywalker #9 being upset.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to talk about the one important thing about that, which was that when did all of a sudden Princess Leia become a Jedi?
Yes.
That was when I was like, okay, I'm done with this franchise. Like when they were gonna kill her off by having her float in space, I was like, okay, this is it. Next thing you know, she force pulls herself into the ship. I was like, I'm done. This is not it right here.
Now, can you make an argument that she's going to be force sensitive? Of course. It makes
Right.
sense that she would be. But in that moment, at age 73, is when they're starting to show it.
Right.
That
The
makes no
AARP kicks in, all
it
of a
makes
sudden she wants to
no sense whatsoever that we've never seen that she's been force sensitive before.
Right.
At the time, right? Then you start getting into these later things, these other spin-offs that they start hinting at it to fill this void. But you just have some fucking 76-year-old that you don't know has any force, and then she's being able to force fly all the way back
Right.
in. She's never she couldn't even pick up. Remember when Luke started using the force and he was trying to move shit and it was
Yeah,
just rocks were just
struggling.
shaking? Like
Yeah.
he couldn't lift up the freaking fighter out of
Mm-hmm.
the pond.
Had to
And now
carry Yoda on his back the whole time to get that strength.
and now you have Leia, who's all of a sudden like, let me basically pull myself to the ship or pull the ship to me, whatever ends up being that. Like,
Right, let me
as she's
cook.
basically dead.
Yeah. That lady was out here looking like Bernie Sanders running for re-election out
Wild.
here, man. Wild.
Wild.
With that being said, I'm gonna go actually with original on this one.
Okay.
Even though I grew up with prequel, and I do agree with you that I love the story of like Anakin's rise and his fall, I think I like the Luke story a little bit better just because of the idea that it's like, oh, you know, he's a boy that's no name, doesn't know anything, and then all of a sudden this guy comes in and he's like, oh, well, your dad was this great warrior, and I will teach you in the ways of that and help you become this great thing. And then all of a sudden he's fighting the guy. He's like, you murdered my dad. And then the iconic Luke, I am your father. I
Yeah.
was, and I mean, granted, we knew it before we even saw it, but like, imagine growing up not knowing that the whole time. And then you're like, or watching the first one and then watching the second one, and that happens, and you're just like blown away. And I think that that's great. And to see Luke have a more of a redemption story of what Anakin should have become, which was better than falling for the temptation. Granted, I think he's still following whatever little prophecy. Man was Jesus Christoing it out here. Was like, hey, I got a prophecy to fulfill. I got to kill some Jedis, including kids. But I think overall, I like the original story the best, just because I think it has a better redemption story. I think it has more intriguing stuff with it. I love the prequel for the Anakin side, but I think this one has a more cohesive story between the three of them.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So story, I'm going original. All right. Let me ask you this. Which one has the best fight scenes?
Okay.
Not you putting the sigh in there.
Here's where we run into problems. Because you got to think the first movie came out in 1977. That's what I have right here. That's what I'm looking at. So obviously CGI was not that great then.
Right.
The ones that we grew up on, right, the prequels, actually had some pretty good CGI. It wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
But has some pretty good CGI. I still to this day, like, when I think Star Wars, I think Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting on the one that starts, I think it starts with an M, whatever planet that they're fighting on at the end.
Yeah, with the lava.
yeah, the lava's popping off. They're fighting. Just the cinematography of that is super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into the sequels, and the way that the lightsabers kind of like have this little glow to it, I don't agree with many of the fight scenes
Mm-hmm.
in the sequels. There's only really like two that I can think of. When the first one when Rey and Kylo fight, and then the second one right before they figure out like something's going on, they can talk to each other, all that kind of stuff. Um, I'm gonna go with the prequels. I think there was enough CGI, and I think there were enough battles because there were more battles in the prequel, or excuse me, yeah, in the prequels than there was in the sequels. And
Mm.
the originals are they're just a little bit too old for me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think there are a couple, but they're very short in the originals.
Okay.
There's a couple of fights, so I'm gonna go prequels, have the greatest fight scenes. If you could have the CGI of the even the prequels for the originals, there might be an argument there. But I'm gonna go prequels.
All right. So I was trying to toss this one up because I was trying to think of something that might be able to get you a sequel in there. Like a sequel's got to take something. And I was going to say like, oh, maybe I'll just do effects, which isn't kind of fair when you think about like how much of an 8 year gap there is between them
Yeah.
all. So I didn't want to make it too easy for them. But overall, I agree with the prequels. I mean, the sequels tried. I agree. I love the special effects of the sequels. Like with Kylo Ren's lightsaber, love that. Like the way it's like
Mm-hmm.
out of control and stuff. It looks great. And I just loved all the effects with it. But the fight scenes they were awful. Like
Yeah.
especially like that one when they're like somehow they're fighting, but like not standing in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even understand that. And then I didn't like that in the middle one or the second of the sequel they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, they're going to work together in this moment." I'm like, "No.
This makes no
Negative."
sense.
Yeah, negative. But prequels, bro, that choreography for prequels on all three movies is amazing.
Yeah.
The first one, the second one when it's Count Dooku versus Anakin and Obi-Wan. That was amazing, especially after Obi-Wan just like fell and was like, "Ah," and then was
Oh.
laid there on the ground.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the iconic Obi-Wan versus Anakin. So I got to give it to that one. I do think that the prequels are the best fight scenes out of it. I tried to give something to the sequels. I'm sorry, people, but there's just nothing there. Like I
No,
can't
there's
think of
nothing.
anything. Maybe I can't even argue costume because Kylo Ren kind of looks stupid.
I don't mind Kylo Ren. He's not the best, but I don't mind him.
Yeah,
Like
I just think
his
it was
outfit and
wasted
everything.
talent. I just think they wasted the talent for it.
Yeah.
All right. So because we have a dope fire question, I'm gonna do one last one.
Okay.
If you had to say between the prequel, the sequel, and the original, which one would you argue is the most iconic for you
There
personally?
there's no question that the originals.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like that's the thing that starts this whole series off that it's a multi-billion dollar industry. It has a like very very good storyline. For the time the special effects are unheard of. In 1977 to have like space fighting scenes that actually make sense and look okay, like look good for the time, look fantastic for the time. That I don't think there's an argument that could be made that the first three is what kicks this whole thing's off and keeps it going. I think there is a reason why it takes so long from the originals to the prequels and or excuse me, from the prequels to the sequels. I think there's a reason why the gap is so big. Obviously, George Lucas is one of them, but uh, I think there's a reason that they didn't need to touch it, and the originals had already planned for the prequels to come. Um, yeah, I think the originals is iconic. You just can't pass it up.
I could see that. Honestly, I'm gonna say a controversial one. I'm gonna say the prequels.
I
Only
don't think.
because
Okay, yeah,
only because I think when you say Star Wars, you think of Anakin. When you say Star Wars, you think of. Now, again, this could be a generational thing because kind of like the Batman thing where old people will forever say Michael Keaton is their Batman and we'll forever
yeah,
say Christian Bale is our Batman. So they'll say Luke is our Jedi and we'll always say no, Anakin got that dog in him. So I will forever say that I think the prequels are. I think the prequels did an amazing job as far as what they did with that time. They set up beautiful CGI because watching Yoda from number 1 to number 2 is nasty work. I don't know if you
yes,
never know. It's nasty.
yes,
But I think they set the pace so that they made this new branch that had they not succeeded, I don't think we'd be getting, granted, not all of them have been great, but I don't even think we'd be getting a lot of these shows because I think had the prequels failed as hard, like as they did, like the sequels did, I don't think we'd be talking about it. But
yeah.
that's me personally on that line.
I could see that.
So, all right. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right. Why don't you tell us the hot fire question since this was your beautiful idea.
Well, let me just make sure. I'll put it out there, but I believe we're going with who would we be in the Star Wars universe? Is that the one we're doing?
Sure. I thought we were picking for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we can pick for each other.
All right, like I pick for you, you pick for me.
Yeah, we can
All
do
right.
that.
Yeah, I want you to go first.
You want me to go
I
first?
swear, if you say what's his name? What's the I don't know why. I see his face. Jabba the Hutt. I'm coming down there and we're
No,
fighting in the
no,
parking lot.
you're not Jabba the Hutt. No. So I took this as the understanding that I don't think either of us would be a Jedi. I don't think I'll be honest. I don't think we have that in us. But I have two answers, and I'll see if you let me go with answer one.
Okay.
If you can take a very, very, very lightly force sensitive Luke, the Luke who's in the Starfighter,
You talking
who gets
Mr. Closes his eyes.
who gets told by Obi-Wan in his head, Luke, use the Force. I think you're right there. I think you're right there.
He closes his eyes, grabs the joystick,
Yes.
and is like, I can do this, master.
Exactly. Okay. If you're not going to give me that one because it's only a partial answer, I'm going to say that you are Poe
Interesting.
from
Okay.
the sequels. Like, you're there, you're for the cause, you'd be all about it, you'd have a very specific good set of skills. So I would put you at Poe. If you'll let me do like a very limited Luke, I'd give you a very limited
I'll
Luke.
take that first answer. I like that first answer. That's funny because you're like, you feel the force.
Mhm.
You're like, pew.
Honestly, I think you'd think you felt the Force. Like you'd be hanging around Jedi's and you'd be
And
like,
it's
I'm
neuropathy. Oh.
also Force sensitive. And you just got that 1 in a billion shot that actually went in.
I'm just hanging out with all the Jedi's and I'm
And
like,
you-
hey, I'm one of them
And
guys.
for the rest of your life, you'd be like, I'm one of you boys.
I'm welcome you home. And the thing is, I'd let them hype me up. I'd be like, I want them to see you try. I want to see you try.
Yep.
I like that one. So I also agreed. I was glad we kind of both agreed not to be Jedi because I was like, I came up with two just in case, like you went with the Jedi.
I did the same.
But I do have one, and it's kind of, it's gonna kind of be cheesy. So I'm not gonna feed you on, but it's gonna be. I'm gonna say you're the Mandalorian.
Bro, I put it on my list. When I put the question and I said we'll pick for ourselves and then we'll pick for each other,
Uh-huh.
that's who I picked for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I would argue you're Mandalorian, bro. You're all about honor. You're all about pride in what you do, and now you have a little Grogu you carry around now.
It is true.
And but also, I think if you truly had it your way, I think you wouldn't even be a Jedi just to prove a point that you could be better than them. Like
Yeah.
you'd be like, I don't want to be a Jedi. I'll be a Mandalorian.
Yep.
And I just think like you have a lot of honor for yourself in the sense that like you're going to, and you're also about the code. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you're about following the code and having that brotherhood of codeness, you know? So I think when I see the Mandalorian, I'm just like, yeah, that's Marcus just with not a green Grogu.
Yeah, that is true.
Your Grogu just happens to be a human. So, but yeah, I would say you're the Mandalorian. I think, and even if we were cast into the world, you would absolutely choose a Mandalorian over being a Jedi.
Yes, 100%.
You're like, I'm gonna just throw a
100%.
nuke in here real quick.
Yeah. Now, before we're done, because we're about to be done here real quick, would you say that the Mandalorian series is the best series we've had from Star Wars so far?
So I have to say yes, only because I haven't seen Andor.
Okay.
And I heard Andor is up there. Like I heard it's them and Mandalorian are like right next to each other. And so especially these last two. Now, without Andor not in discussion, yeah. I haven't seen Skeleton Crew. I heard it was good, but I didn't see anything. It didn't look
Yeah,
too interesting to me. It was just a bunch of juveniles running around. Do you
exactly.
know where your kids are?
Yeah.
Um, but I would argue yes. Even so much that now they're even making a movie out of it. So
Yeah, I just hope it's not a money grab. That's
yeah,
my only thing.
same. I just hope it's not the same old, same old. So
Yeah.
what about you?
Oh, by far.
By far?
I watched 3/4 of Andor. I still haven't finished it, but I'm like 3/4 of the way through. But did the Mandalorian series is just it has a very like, especially the first series has a very old school Star Wars feel to it, which is kind of cool. Like to be able
Yeah.
to have the old school feel with the new school ideas and animations and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. And I like that it's not Jedi focused as much
Hmm.
too. Like he's just trying to survive. He's trying to take care of this kid. He's trying to like find his way himself and like he wants to go back to the status quo, but then it's all like, nah, that's not happening anymore. So I like that part of it, that it was like it's not your traditional Star Wars and it makes you actually like that side of Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
agree.
I agree. All right. Well, as I once told Gandalf on the USS Enterprise and watched him say this to Dumbledore, which is that with great power comes great responsibility.
Stupid.
That's going to do it for us today. As always, we encourage you to pull up a seat, pour up a drink, and join us next time as we make poor judgments. And please like, subscribe, follow the channel, and stay tuned. We got some stuff we are cooking, especially in September and hopefully October. We got some
Oh,
stuff cooking.
we got some good ones.
We got some good ones. So that's going to do it for us. Have a good night. See you next time.
Adios, muchachos.